Hello everyone, Glieken here, bringing you a Shadows over Innistrad pre-release. Just became available on Magic Online within the past few hours. And so let's dive in and build a deck. They did change the way that they do the Magic Online pre-releases now. The Sealed is actually a Sealed League, which is very nice because it gives us all the time we need to build our deck. And then you can just jump from game to game instead of having to wait for a match to end. It doesn't really affect how you guys watch it, so enjoy that. But it saves me a lot of time. As for Shadows over Innistrad, I've did a few pre-releases and have only done 2 drafts. Only 1 draft. Not that much draft. But I've been loving the format, and I think green is very powerful. I think blue is not necessarily not powerful, like these 2 Justin wins are going to be good, but definitely takes the most work to get the deck together. Actually, our blue looks pretty decent. Red is also, I think green and red are the 2 best colors. This is just initial impressions diving into the format. But let's see what we have. We have the Zuvenwald Hydra, which seems pretty good. We're going to be picking that up. Now, by picking that up, I mean we've already picked it up. We also have a Sage of Ancient Lore. Looks like we're going to be pretty green here, which is where we want to be. This card's great. Stoic Builder is okay. Mold Draft is good. If we want to search for like splash of color, this card has not been as bad as it kind of initially looks, because it does get 2 names in your graveyard for Delirium. It also helps you splash that color that you might need. Oh, and that was the wrong button that I didn't mean to push. Stay with me. Stay with me. Still with me? No, I pushed the exact same wrong button that I didn't want to push before. Alright. Cool. Behind the scenes action happening live. As I pushed the wrong button to stop computer sounds happening. Quickling, these cards are good that we want to know that we have in our sideboard. Oh, this is the rare land. Yeah, what are all our rares? We have our Uvenwald and some white rare. We have Always Watching. Always Watching is always good. Rattle Change is okay, and then 2 of the rare lands. Researcher's not that bad. Our blue seems actually pretty strong. White seems pretty good as well. Black doesn't seem that strong. In terms of what we have, not very many cost by color. So I'm probably going to be looking at a green-blue and a green-white deck. And while our green cards are very strong cards, they're not that numerous. But it looks like we have a lot of blue. Let's see. Maybe don't really want to, but that's a curve filler. Ghostly Wings Ghostly Wings has so much use. Like, you can either use it to get your guy through, use it to save your guy, use it to get rid of their guy. I actually very much enjoy Ghostly Wings. Mag Scribe, I want a deck with 5 of these. That just works. But probably not going to happen this way. Deny Existence, I think, is fine in Sealed. Counters a creature spell, which is what you're afraid of most of the time. I do like Gone Missing, Sleep Paralysis. Corpse Trawler is okay. It's 4 mana for a 3/3. If we have a way to maybe splash black, makes it a little bit better. These guys are just solid. The Apparent Researcher is a 3/2 flying for 4, which is perfectly fine. And then if we're able to flip it, that's great. 2/1 flash. Not the most exciting batch of cards. We're definitely like lacking in our 3-drops. Let's see if we pick up our man cost, and what what I do like about this format that we haven't had in a while because of morphs and because of Awaken is you don't have to mess with your mana curve. Like, we don't have to be like, well, I guess with Madness we do. But not really, because most of the Madness cards, unless you're in a strictly Madness deck, like, I'm keeping just the win in the 2-drop slot because we don't have a way to discard it. But there's no more like, this says it's a 2-drop, but it's actually a 5-drop, or just moving everything to the 3 drops because there's some morph. It's just nice, clean deck building, which is great. So that being said, let's group our creatures separately. We can definitely give this a try. We have a lot of bounds to try and... yeah. I mean, our green cards are just so powerful, but they're just so few. What does our blue-black look like? Do we have any decent black cards? We have Air, which actually goes pretty well with our blue cards. What does blue-black look like? Like, we could still be like blue-black splashing this guy, or blue-white splashing both of these, because we have some more fixing that way. Because... like, we want to play those cards. Those cards are just very strong cards. But if we do blue-black, what does that look like? This is the one that gets Menace when it's Delirious. Not a big fan of that. Maybe a little bit more of a fan of it because we have Zombie Strategy. Zombie. Crow's good. Rats are good. That's pretty good. And this vampire's decent. And that also gets us perhaps want to play these cards. Give it the fork in the road. And then we'll probably splash at least the green. The Sage. Maybe even this guy too. This is a potential deck. We do have more synergies with our discarding cards, because we have to be able to turn on our Just to Wins. Like, we have these, and we have Falcon Wrath, which is very strong. Probably just wouldn't play this vampire because we only have, or like, these 2 vampires aren't that great. And we have more ways to get things into our graveyard, so maybe we play this Manic Scribe as just a secondary win condition. I actually kind of like this deck a little bit better, because it works together with itself with our discard outlets. It has a little bit smoother of a curve. And I probably take out these 2 vampires. And maybe... I want to play this. This card just is so good. I'll probably just take out one of the Lamplighters for that, because 5 mana 3/5 is not the best. Anyway, just play, like, we unfortunately don't have the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow that you can pay 2, sacrifice it to search your library for 2 lands to your hand, has overperformed for me because it gets multiple creature or multiple card types in your graveyard for Delirium. It allows you to splash pretty easily. What do we have that steal? We have the Shade. I just wish we had something more in our 3-drops. We're definitely playing. I think the color that we're definitely playing is blue. we would like to play green because we have our strong rares there, or at least be able to splash it. But blue is definitely in, and I think now it becomes a question of what are we blue with? So let's move these black cards aside and check out blue white, since that had some decent cards in it. Not necessarily keen on the angel, just because it's we're in sealed, so we'll actually get up there pretty handily. Always Watching is very good. Jones Cathar is very good. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're probably blue. Don't actually hate Not Forgotten. And then if we want to play the shard, we can play Strength of Arms. I mean, Strength of Arms is also just fine as a +2/+2. And then we'll probably like just bring in this Hydra, since we have extra splashing available. We'll probably just play like 3 forests. Let's see what this looks like. I probably don't play that. The zombie. This seems a little bit deeper, and our curve is nicer. We have some removal spells. We have more instants and sorceries to be able to flip our researcher, which is pretty good. We want to play this Manic Scribe. If we're looking to cut cards, Manic Scribe is probably one of the first to go, because if we're not able to turn it on relatively easily, then it's for the most part helping them, because it mills them 3 cards, which gets their, because it's each opponent, it's not even target player, so we can't do it to ourselves to help fuel our delirium. I probably don't play the Hydra. Probably don't play the Hydra just because double green's too hard to splash, but single green would be pretty easy, especially since we have the fortified village. So let's look at just our white and blue. Might want to play this 1/3 just as an earlier card. Because the one thing that's scary in this format is there are definitely some very aggressive decks. And like they can just run over and deal lots of damage very quickly. Maybe you don't want to play this Corpse Trawler. I can see that being cut. I think we'd rather cut some non-creatures though first. Like I probably cut this Deny Existence. I think we do have some pretty nice synergy with it. Like we just found something and then we're ready to have them discarded the next turn. We still want to be cutting 4 cards by the looks of it. Probably cutting this Not Forgotten. It's a pretty decent card, and we probably sided in like another like heavy removal control-y deck, just because it gives us a second chance at our bombs. I actually like this homunculus too much. But I'm thinking about, actually, we have a decent amount of instances to make this be a threat as a 3/1 indestructible. Like, Emissary Sleepless, I think, gets out of our deck. And probably just one of these bounce spells, maybe just, or I think I like Ghostly Wings because it can turn our guys or like one of our ground guys into another threat during a board stall. Attacking blocking creature power 3 or less. We can bring great Jace's Scrutiny for the combo. Make your guy very small and then bubble. Maybe just cut one of these puncturing lights, just because it's the most conditional of our removal, and we just have so much. Oh, or this deny existence. No, puncturing light. Oh, we still have to cut one more. Oh no! When this card flips, I think this Sage of the Ancient Lore is too strong for us not to splash, especially since we have the green-white fixing. That is just like almost a free splash. We're gonna be playing one forest that makes it a little bit less of a free splash, but still a decent splash. This is whenever cast a creature spell convert mana cost 2 or less, or 3 or less, which we have a decent amount. Maybe just get rid of one of these 2/4s. There's Corpse Trawler, which then makes this a much worse card, except it's not land permanent. What's our zombie? Is our zombie count only these 2 cards? Because if so, then I'm gonna cut this. Yeah, cut the Corpse Trawler. We'll leave this in because it's essentially just leaving it in as another Just the Wind, which is fine. And we're just gonna try and tempo them out by the looks of it. Just try and make the game last a little bit longer so that we can get our few bombs on the field. Yeah, I think this looks like a solid deck for us to do. So we're gonna put all these cards to the side, and just so that we don't accidentally miss anything, we are gonna build the blue-red deck as well. These otherwhere, blue, red. Ooh, we have Skin Invasion. Skin Invasion is a very good card. So is Lightning Axe. That card's very good. That card's very good. This card is awkward. Yeah, we have very good red cards. Not that many. This card goes decent because we have the instants and sorceries in our deck. A lot of them. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have enough red to defend building the deck around. So yeah, we're just going to stick with this blue-white deck. Let's see how that goes. We're going to add our lands back in. And looks like we want 10 blue sources. Maybe 9 blue sources. This is 16, 17, 18. Do we want 18 lands? Do we want to just cut this compelling returns? I don't think we do. But this is 9, 7, and 1. I think we can do that. Alright. And here's our deck. Here, I'll combine it so we can actually see it all together. Here's our deck. Who knows if we're going to be able to cast this Angel of Deliverance? Who knows if we're going to be able to survive against a super aggressive deck? But I combined weird. I realized that as I don't see my cards. There we go. But here we are, and we'll see you for round number 1.